The worldwide premiere of Endgame was yesterday, and there are some initial reactions out. The actual review embargo still has something like 15 hours to go, so there aren't any real reviews yet, or if someone does have a real review, they'll probably lose their early access to the next film that Disney makes, so there's probably not going to be too many unofficial reviews or reviews hitting early. Variety already has an article out on it. They basically just grab a whole pile of tweets. Avengers Endgame, first reactions, most emotional, most epic MCU film. The end is finally here. Avengers Endgame had its world premiere Monday night at the Los Angeles Convention Center, and the reactions on social media from fans, journalists, and critics are already pouring in. The reaction has so far been almost universally positive, with several commentators warning fans of the movie's emotional elements. Brandon Davis wrote that he cried so hard during the film and called it the perfect culmination of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now that's a pretty high bar that Brandon Davis is setting there, the perfect culmination of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hopefully he's not lying, but all of these people get early access and have to put the best spin on as they possibly can. So I'm not hoping that the film is bad, but perfect, that's a pretty high bar. While watching Avengers Endgame, I laughed so loud, I clapped with so much force, and I cried so hard. The movie exceeds every expectation and is the perfect culmination of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, again, I hope the film is good, but this guy is shilling so hard for Marvel. He really wants to see the next Marvel's premiere. I guess that'll be the Spider-Man film. So, it exceeds every expectation. It won't. It will not exceed every expectation. Eric Davis says, Avengers Endgame is a masterful epic, a true culmination of 22 films that not only conclude the story, but expands upon it. You'll learn more about the other movies while this one unfolds. If Infinity War is the brawn, Endgame is the brains, and wow, what an ending. Peter Scaretti writes, imagine the best possible version of Avengers Endgame and somehow the film still surpasses all expectations. I cried 5 to 6 times. It's the most emotional, most epic MCU film, a tribute to 10 years of this universe, and holy shit, the great fan service in this movie. So good. Cried 5 to 6 times. What is wrong with this person? And again, the best possible version. So I hope it is. Is it the best possible version? They're certainly talking this up. Expectations are definitely getting pushed up to the top. And on and on and on, they all say very similar things. The last one he'll read, Raman Satudi, there wasn't a dry eye in the house as the credits rolled for Avengers Endgame. I'm sure there was. I'm sure there was a dry eye in the house. But it looks like there's a lot of emotion involved. Perhaps that's due to lots of deaths, maybe. Lots of people they weren't expecting to die, or sacrifice themselves and die. I don't know if they're talking about crying for joy that the film was so good, but it sounds like, if these people aren't lying, that they were very emotional about what happened here. From what I can tell, the first screenings are at 10 a.m. in New Zealand. That might not be correct. They may be earlier than 10, but I had a brief look and 10 was the first session time that I could see. So if that's the case, I think that's in less than 15 hours' time, approximately. So that's when the first people in the world will be able to see the film, and about 3.5 hours after that is when it'll be finished, and we'll start to get actual reactions from real people, not from the sort of access people that have to be pretty much be positive. So these are all very, very positive, and they had to be positive. They're always positive. If you saw what the people wrote about Captain Marvel, for example, it was ridiculously positive, but it was vague, though. I'll say that. They all talked about how great the cat was, and that was about it, whereas this one is talking about general emotion. So these do seem more like genuine sort of semi-reviews rather than just, hey, the cat was really great. But, these people have to be positive. They're not allowed to be negative, basically. They'll lose their jobs if they're negative. So we'll have to wait until the New Zealand people actually tell us what's going on, and then it'll roll in all around the world. So I think we'll get some stuff from New Zealand and Australia and in China and in India and in Europe. And then finally, the East Coast of America will get the film. Hopefully you've already got your ticket, and we'll see if it can break $1 billion in its worldwide opening. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.